Navigators of life come in the form of those who illuminate what truly matters and what can be cast aside. They point toward uncharted peaks, offering direction where the path ahead remains shrouded. Illuminating the path, consider a compass, designed to guide wanderers toward wealth, a tool crafted to shift perspectives toward the priorities of a seasoned trailblazer. One voice, rooted in convention, might champion the pursuit of a lucrative trade and the acquisition of a grand dwelling as the ultimate goals, urging prompt settlement of dues and a life of modest restraint. Another, bolder voice encourages a focus on streams of income that flow effortlessly. Resources gathered not through ceaseless toil but through the steady accumulation of holdings like market stakes, leased lands, enterprise profits, or creative yields. Rather than shrinking ambitions to fit a narrow frame, this guide urges expanding the horizon itself. Both perspectives, distinct as they are, carve deep impressions. The choice to follow one does not diminish the other's mark. Each shapes the journey in its own way, forging a unique ascent. Shadows as teachers. Not all guides shine brightly. Some cast shadows to reveal what to avoid. Picture a merchant who once commanded a fortune vast enough to rival a small kingdom, only to see it crumble into dust. Such a figure serves dual roles, a beacon of possibility and a cautionary echo. Lessons emerge from both the heights of achievement and the depths of missteps. One shows the way forward, the other marks the pitfalls to sidestep. Streams of wealth versus wages of labor. The traditional compass might fixate on the steady drip of earnings from a trade, deeming it the bedrock of stability. The visionary guide, however, turns the gaze toward the rivers of gain, profits from ventures or properties that promise abundance beyond the daily grind. The soul's compass. Even in matters of spirit, these guides diverge, where one might see the pursuit of riches as a perilous drift from virtue. Another views the true peril in surrendering to excess, ignorance, or the chains of borrowed burdens. Wealth itself isn't the storm. It's the servitude to it that darkens the skies. This wisdom often unfolds through parable. Imagine a ledger split in two. One side heavy with anchors, debts, and fleeting desires, tempting wanderers astray. The other side, a sail lifted by treasures, holdings that endure, steers toward liberation. The call is to resist the lure of hollow trappings, to build a foundation that withstands the gales of want. Credit's promise, once unleashed, can tether lives to endless cycles of chase and collapse. True ascent lies in gathering what lasts, not in scattering effort on what fades. To climb toward a personal summit, choose companions wisely. Are they forging paths upward or lingering in valleys? Seek those who share the altitude you aspire to, perhaps in circles of trade, investment guilds, or communal ventures, where the air is rich with possibility. Trailblazers. Ahead guidance is most potent from those who've scaled the heights. To conquer a towering ridge, who better to consult than one who's planted a flag atop it? Yet when navigating the slopes of fortune, many heed voices mired in lowlands. The rarest mentors, those who've bridged commerce and capital, offer a compass truer than most. In fields where skill earns reward, seasoned hands guide the way. Amateurs falter without them. Select these trailblazers with care. They shape the ascent more than any map. Steps to the Ridge 1. Seek out pathfinders in commerce and investment, those whose tracks lead upward. Learn from their strides and their stumbles alike. Reflect on the circle of influence, the half-dozen souls most often near. These are not just companions but mirrors of the future. List them, not by bond but by time spent. Colleagues, kin, or comrades. Their presence reveals the trajectory ahead. Mark each companion's terrain. Do they dwell in labor, craft, enterprise, or investment? For the idle or seasoned, note their past domain. Some straddle multiple grounds, blending roles in their climb. Gauge their altitude as wealth builders, pioneers, cautious climbers, or novices yet to start. Estimate their level, drawing from the 5 tiers of ascent outlined elsewhere. Sketch a map of these domains, placing initials where they stand, and your own, both where you tread now and where you aim to rise. Harmony among these markers signals contentment. Discord hints at a shift overdue. This reflection stirs varied winds. Some bristle at labeling their crew, others find clarity in the view. It's a lens, not a judgment, meant to light the path for those who seek it. Often, the restless discover they've tethered their climb to others' stillness, pushing against winds that need not blow. Realigning the journey begins with seeing it plain. Step 6. Forge strength from the storm within. Every gust that knocks a climber back lies a spark of insight. Early ventures, say, coaxing trade from reluctant hands, may falter painfully, tempting blame on fickle skies or rocky ground. Yet the seasoned voice cuts through. Weakness thrives on excuses. To master the craft, one must weather the sting of setback, turning it into a foothold rather than a fall. Fear of the plunge keeps many at base camp, dreading error or rejection. To those ready to ascend, expect the gusts. They're not foes, but forges. Those who vow never again build walls. Those who press on build bridges. The counsel rings clear. Anticipate the squall. Brace for it, not as defeat, but as a sharpening stone. Calm amidst chaos breeds sharper sight. Keep a guide on the ridge, ready to lend wisdom when the path steepens beyond reckoning. Their voice steadies the climb, turning near misses into mastery. Ease the inner storm. Self-blame cuts deeper than any gale. Gentleness frees the spirit to risk anew. Face the mirror's truth. Fleeing missteps is the coward's trail. Strength grows in owning them, for the summit's size matches the heart's resolve. The years ahead will churn with shifting currents. Those who harness their tempests, who wield setbacks as tools, will crest the waves while others drift. Step 7. The flame of belief. The only hand that stokes the fire of self-belief is one's own. Long ago, two youths faced a chorus of doubt. "You'll never climb high." Words that scorched but kindled a blaze. That spark carried them past schoolyard taunts into realms of their own making. At a gathering years later, those once lauded as peak dwellers lingered in the foothills, while the doubted had scaled new heights. Not by brilliance, but by grit and faith in their untapped fire. No tally of flaws, be it modest means, shaky figures, or a quiet start, bars the climb unless it's fed by doubt. To those eyeing the summit, trust this. All the embers needed glow within, awaiting only will and a flicker of belief in a singular gift. The mirror's flame, a glance in the glass reflects more than flesh. It bears the soul's whispers. Some see shadows. I've lost my spark, while others fan a flame. I'm ablaze with promise. These flickers, not the outer shell, chart the course. Fortune flees those who douse their own light. At crossroads, truths flare bright. When mapping the terrain, labor or legacy, now or next, some stand content, others stall, and a few leap, their words a torch. I can't risk the ridge with mouths to feed, or lose all? Not me. These are sparks of the spirit, revealing not just fear but the deeper lie, or truth, beneath. Kindle the deeper fire, hear the doubts. I'm weary, not for this, and dig past them. Beneath may burn. Learning reignites me, new vistas call. That ember, fanned, fuels the ascent. Partners on this trek must mirror this flame, not quench it, reminding each that the blaze outshines the flicker of fear. The prize isn't just wealth, but trust in the fire within. Daily, stoke courage over caution. Most halt when the small flame roars loudest, yet tending the greater one shifts the skies. Face the shadows, fan the spark, and the ridge rises near. Steps to ignite, believe in the blaze, and begin now. In closing, channels of plenty. These 7 strides lifted 2 wanderers from barren trails to abundant heights in mere seasons, a map still guiding their climb. To follow, stay true to the inner compass. For those not yet casting nets for lasting gain, hasten there. Chart a course. Tame the tides of spending, Lighten the load of debts, live within the wind's reach, then stretch it wider. Calculate the haul, how much, how long, at what yield, to crest goals of leisure, steady streams, and unshackled days. Start simple, a modest cast, watched closely, sets the keel. This journey unveils who you are, where your fires burn, and the summit you'll claim. Every trade has its path to the peak. No boss hands you the rope. That's your craft. Ready to trade buckets for channels, letting wealth flow to you and yours? Tending this course takes time, a lifelong forge, but the first step is the steepest. Commit, and the trail smooths. It's not arcane, just the spark of sense,